We live in an evil society today. If you doubt me, check yourself and just see how nasty you really, really are while pretending to be of good. Satan got your mind, and you think you got your own mind, and you don't. You think you're in control, and you're not. He can make you feel good. He can make you feel bad. He can make you jealous and envious and revengeful, and he'll make you hurt your own husband, your own wife, your own children. And it's going to get worse because the children of the lie are setting it up where it never get better again. They're putting women in charge. They are trying all they can to destroy men, especially if the man is working on being right and doing right, because they hate God. And they are pushing the religion of anger, which is evil. And there are so many people who are committing suicide and cutting off body parts and all kinds of things going on. And so anytime you have anger, you're two hoops in a holler from Jeffrey Dahmer, in that state of anger where you're impatient with your children, you're committing Jeffrey Dahmer. When you try to get revenge or when you want to hurt yourself or others, you're committing Jeffrey Dahmer. When you're jealous and envious and try to pretend you're nice, or you have strife, or you hate your fellow man. But you say, oh, I would never kill somebody and cook them and eat them. But you're killing the soul of your own self and your children. This guy from Chesapeake, Virginia, where at least he been accused of committing these crimes in Chesapeake, Virginia. This guy was possessed, just like you. All those who have not realized all thoughts are all lies all the time about anything, and that all thoughts come from darkness, pure hell. The Walmart manager who allegedly shot and killed 6 people Tuesday night in Chesapeake, Virginia, left behind a death note.
The police in Chesapeake, Virginia released what the shooter called a death note. It goes back to Tuesday's mass shooting at a Walmart in Chesapeake, Virginia. 6 people were killed, 6 others were wounded. And in this note that was released, Andre Bing, the shooter, he apologized for his actions to some extent, but he did it in the context of sort of blaming other people for, he felt he was harassed. It sort of fits what we had been hearing from some of the survivors of the shooting and people who worked at that Walmart, that said he was sort of a hostile manager. He was what they called a night lead at the Chesapeake Walmart. They said he was socially awkward and, was angry and, had a lot of grievances.
Amazing. That's every human being that has not overcome anger. And we have some of his little note that he left.
Yes, sir. This is entitled Death Note. Sorry, God, I failed you. This was not your fault, but my own. I failed to listen to the groans of the Holy Spirit, which made a poor representation of you. I was harassed by idiots with low intelligence and a lack of wisdom. I remained strong through most of the torment, but my dignity was not completely taken away beyond repair by my phone getting hacked.
So in that first paragraph, he's apologizing to God for not listening to the groaning of the Holy Spirit. What is that? What's the groaning?
I'm not sure.
That must be a Christian thing. So it looked like one hand he was trying to take responsibility, but then he ended up blaming others. What? And the unfortunate thing is, it wasn't him. He can tell me that it's in the Bible. Oh yeah, I remember hearing about that in the Bible, the groaning thing. For we do not know how we ought to pray, but the Spirit himself intercedes for us with groaning too deep for words. Romans 8:26. But you can't hear the groaning. So this boy is saying that he was trying to hear it and he didn't listen to it. What the?
I can't say that they were the only ones that lacked intelligence and wisdom. I was just as guilty and failed my management team and everyone that ever loved me by convincing them that I was normal. Blank blank and the associates or castrated it that they laughed and made subtle code speeches, which I eventually figured out. I thought blank was my friend, but he betrayed me. Betrayal is one of the worst feelings next to regret.
Amazing.
So he goes on to say, they laughed at me and said that I was like Jeffrey Dahmer.
See there? Every human being is two hoops and a holler from Jeffrey Dahmer. Every human being with anger is a murderer. Not only are you murdering yourself, but you murder others, even your own children.
I would have never killed anyone that entered my home.
You're right.
A few months back, I had overheard blank talking to blank, and he told me that he had been trying to get rid of me since day one. After I heard that, I lashed out.
See?
Let's go back here. He continues to say, after I heard that, I lashed out. The associates gave me evil, twisted grins, mocked me, and celebrated my downfall the last day. That's why they suffer the same fate as me.
Wow. That's a devil mind if this is true. That's every human being. That husband and wife. Why do you think husband and wives are so mean to one another? It's the same spirit. That's why you're not getting better. You don't see that. It's been covered up. It's been called everything but evil.
Blank from maintenance was emanating with the Holy Spirit, which I could feel. People thought that she was crazy for walking out. But unlike me, she actually listened to the Holy Spirit. Like blank blank knew that they were antagonizing me. So one day she approached me in the personnel and apologized to me. On her last day, she looked me in the eye, terrified by a demonic aura. My true...
I rest my case. That's amazing, huh?
That really is.
Wow, he's like sending you, if he wrote this, he's sending you an alarming note. Every human being that has anger has that same wicked spirit or spirits, because some human being has more than one. The devil would bring more than one if he can't get rid of you by himself.
My true intent was never to murder anyone, believe it or not. I was actually one of the most loving people in the world, if you would get to know me. I just wanted a wife that was equally yoked as I and obsessed over the thought. However, I didn't deserve a wife.
Amazing. Equally yoked. Everybody looking for an equally yoked wife or husband. And they think they have it and they never get it. They go to church to get it and they don't find it. They think they found it. They go online. What the? Amazing.
I didn't deserve a wife. I hope that people will learn from everyone's mistakes and truly love God and not the material possessions of the world. My only wish would have been to start over from scratch and that my parents would have paid closer attention to my social deficits. Sorry, everyone, but I did not plan this. I promise things just fell in place like I was led by the Satan.
Man. So if you truly left this note, what's your impression of it? Have you read this before now?
No.
What do you think about it?
I mean, you talk about how, a lot of times you mention how the If poem is like the New Testament.
Yep.
I mean, this is deep. This is, it's just deep.
It's every man, every woman walking this earth. Every man, every child, every male or female born through the woman, this is it. It's everyone. And this is why when you wake up and you see what's going on with you, it causes you to see what's going on inside of others, and you cannot hate. You can't hurt. You can't hate. You can't do anything because now your heart is of love, the real love. If this boy really wrote this, it says volumes, because every human being is listening to the voice of the devil, thinking that it's their voice. And just because you haven't gone out and killed someone, don't let the devil deceive you that you won't. The devil can convince you to commit suicide. The devil can convince you to cut off body parts, your male body part and put on women body part, or your woman body part and put on a man body. The devil can do that, and you do it. It's not you, but it's the spirit that made a home in you. But you're taking credit for it. It's being covered up and called different names. It ain't HDD. It ain't depression. You're possessed. To wake up and see that it's possessed, because I had this different opinion about being possessed. I thought, like what they show in the movies, and that is a form of it. It can get to that, and it does with some people. But you're possessed with a fake smile. You ever notice you smile when you really don't want to smile? You walk into a room and people look at you, you give a fake grin. That's evil. Overcome anger with good. Forgive. Forgive your mothers. Forgive your fathers for not protecting you from your mothers. Become an individual. Become your own man, your own woman. You'll see. So that you can stop getting your identity from people, places, and things. All it's doing is keeping you in hell. 2 hoops and a holler from Jeffrey Dahmer. It's amazing to see that.